Hi guys, this is going to be a quick video. I've got a little job I want to do on my lathe, Optimum 3000. I've had it for a few years now, and I'm really sick of having to clean the ways all the time. So I've got this protective accordion stuff that I'm going to use to keep them covered. And I'm just going to keep it pretty simple. I'm going to attach metal plates at the ends of them with magnets in it. So it's just held in place with magnets. And the only other thing I've got to do is just make up a plate on for the saddle there, because I can't fix it to the cross slide, because it moves in and out. So the actual saddle itself, it's got two holes there from factory, which was therefore for the traveling steady. I'll use those two holes and mount a plate there, so the actual cover can just attach to it, so it's in a fixed position, so it's not traveling in and out. And it's a pretty simple job. I'm really looking forward to doing it, because like I said, I've had the lathe for a few years, and it's just a real pain having to clean the ways every time. You know, you're using the files on there or whatever, and you know, falling on this stuff's going to be really good, but just protect the ways. So I'll get stuck into it. I've got the plate cut that's going to get mounted to the saddle there, and I've just got to notch out those corners there so it'll sit in the right spot. I'm just going to cut that out, just do a rough cut on my horizontal bandsaw, which can be mounted vertically. Just going to cut those out, then clean that up on the milling machine. Okay. Okay, I've rough cut that piece. I just used an angle grinder in the end, so it was quick enough. Yeah, so I've just rough cut it. So I'm sending it up now into the mill just to clean it up. And got a bit of overhang there, so I've set up a little mini jack. As you can see, that's clamped down, so it's, that piece now is quite rigid. I'm just going to use a 6mm end mill just to clean up around those edges there, and drill a couple of holes in here too, so it can bolt to the carriage on the mill. Okay. A lot easier now putting in end mills now that I've got my spindle bolt. Okay, so this plate's all ready. I cleaned up those edges with the mill, drilled a couple of holes. So now it's going to get ready to get fixed to the carriage, using these two drilled and tapped holes pre-done from the manufacturer, because that's where your traveling steady goes, and I don't use the traveling steady. So that's where I'm going to be putting this plate. So I'll just bolt that on. Now, the top slide needs to slide freely and not rub. And there's a pretty good gap there. There's about a 2mm gap in between there, so that's worked out really well. So yeah, that'll move nicely without interfering with the cover. So now you can see that's why I needed to do this, because I needed I needed something that was fixed and that wasn't moving in and out, so that way the cover stays in that same position. So all I've got to do now is just make the little clamps to actually hold the cover and put the magnets in it, so it just sits in that spot. I made these strips that go on the ends of the cover. There's just two of them. They just clamp together with the material of the cover wedged in between. And so there's the side with the magnets. I just use an end mill and plunge down 1.8mm, because that's how thick these magnets are. Quite strong magnets. I bought a whole heap of them off eBay. I sold like 100 of them for about $10 or something. It's pretty cheap. Yeah, so anyway, so that goes on one end, and then there's the other two for the other end. I'll just bolt these together, get it all, and then I'll show you a better close-up of that. It's all done. I've already tried it, works beautiful. I'm really happy about that. I'll just show you a quick close-up of these plates. So as you can see, these are the two plates that sandwich the accordion covers. And see the top bolt? Those top bolts only act as a spacer, just to keep those two plates parallel. Otherwise it'll clamp up like a V shape, and being in a V shape, you'd only be clamping the very tips of the material. By keeping it parallel, you got a good spread of clamping that material down. And yeah, so there's the magnets. The bolts slightly protruded those plates, so I just went on the bench sander and just ground them down to get it down to flush. Yeah, so here's the other end that's stuck there with the magnets. And the magnets, I used 5 on each strip, and those magnets are pretty strong. I'll just clip in the other side. Yeah, that's really good strength of those magnets. So that's it there. I went with a wide cover, a lot wider than, just to protect the lead screw, because a lot of shavings and swarf goes on it. So there's quite a large overhang there. And yeah, so that's it there. And as you wind in the carriage, very nice. Very nice. And now I'm not having to clean those ways every 2 or 3 cuts that I've done. I can let it build up, and knowing that the ways are going to be covered. I reckon the easiest way to clean these is just to open it right up like that. Open up the V's there and just clean it out with a brush. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. I like the idea of using the magnets instead of fixing it to the actual machine, because especially on the saddle, down on the saddle, there's a couple of oil ways that I regularly put oil in. So instead of having to unbolt the cover, it's just with magnets. You can just take it off, oil it up, and then get it back on. Easy as that. Yeah, so if anyone's got any comments, I'm happy to hear your comments, and down in the section there, and start using my lathe. I'll see you later.